We are very happy to have today on the show the Deputy Executive Director of the Harris County Flood Control District. That's right. He's here, Matthew Zeve. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to let folks know about the Harris County Flood Control District and what we're working on and what we will be working on going into the future. First thing, just to start out, the Harris County Flood Control District, where we are a subdivision of the state government formed by the Texas legislature, and our board of directors consists of Harris County Commissioners Court, which is the county judge and the 4 precinct commissioners. And our roles and responsibilities in all of Harris County primarily deal with improving and maintaining all of the open channel drainage systems that you see around the county, all the bayous and creeks and ditches that you may notice around the county. The vast majority of those are the responsibility of the Harris County Flood Control District. And in fact, we are responsible for almost 2,500 miles of open channels. To put that in perspective, that's the distance from flying from Los Angeles to New York. So we have a lot of drainage infrastructure that we take care of. And that also includes several hundred stormwater detention basins and several other smaller pieces of drainage infrastructure. And the Flood Control District, in addition to maintaining all that infrastructure, which primarily consists of mowing, we spend almost $10 million a year just on mowing all of those channels and detention basins. But we also repair things that break on those channels. And to make sure that they work at their optimum efficiency, so when it does rain and when it rains a lot, all of that drainage infrastructure can do its job. And the main one of the two main topics I want to talk about in our limited time, of course, is our flood warning system. And the Harris County Flood Control District has designed and built and maintains probably, if not the largest urban rain gauge network in America, then it has to be in the top 5. We have over 180 real-time rainfall and water level gauges all across Harris County and in some locations actually outside of Harris County, because all of our surrounding counties send us their stormwater when it rains. And I encourage everyone in Harris County to go use Google and type in Harris County Flood Warning System. It'll come up, and find the gauge that's closest to your house or closest to some property that you're interested in, and you can make an account and sign up for alerts that come to your phone via text message or an email that if there is a lot of rain during a period of time or the water's rising, you will get an alert automatically to your phone, so you can watch how that water is rising or how much rain is falling in real time. And we have hundreds of thousands of people already signed up for those alerts, and it's very useful when the rain is coming because a lot of people still have a little bit of anxiety during heavy storm events from our recent flood events that we've had over the past few years. So a lot of people like to look and see how high the water's getting and how much rain is falling in their area.
Indeed they do, and I'm one of those people where the anxiety rises because I was in my home was flooded in Hurricane Harvey, and that's hard to forget. So when it does rain hard, there's a lot of people all around the city, around Harris County, that are saying, uh-oh, I'm going to keep an eye on this. So that sounds like a great resource. Once again, what are the coordinates for people to look at that again?
Well, the easiest way to find it is just go to Google or whatever search engine you like to use and search for Harris County Flood Warning System.
Okay.
And it'll come right up. It'll be the first thing that comes up. And you can, at the very top, you can sign up for alerts, which we encourage people to do. Or alternatively, just when it's raining, and you want to see what's really happening on the ground, you can go to our website anytime, and it's real time. So you can watch the rain fall and accumulate at our gauges, and you can watch the water levels go up at our gauges in real time on that website. So it's a very useful tool, and we're constantly improving it. And in fact, we're working very hard on rolling out a new feature. we're actually going to redo the entire website and modernize it. And then we're actually working on a forecasting feature where we take rainfall forecast from the National Weather Service and then forecast water surface elevations and water inundation if there were to be a flood. So that's something we're working on behind the scenes. We hope to have a beta version out for the public sometime in 2021 next year, but that's something that we're working on. So we're continuously improving that flood warning system. And the second big item I wanted people to be aware of is that we are 2 years into our $2.5 billion bond program. This is a bond program for drainage improvements that Harris County voters approved in August of 2018. And ever since the voters approved that, the Flood Control District has been busy working on taking advantage of the fact that we have funding for projects that we haven't had full funding for in decades. And so we have well over 200 projects in various stages, including planning, design, and construction all across Harris County. And I encourage people, if they're interested to see what the Flood Control District's working on, visit our website, which is hcfcd.org, and you can easily navigate around to see what projects we have going on in your area. And in fact, if you want to know what's going on in your watershed, at the very top part of our webpage, you just type in your address, and the webpage will take you to the watershed where you live, and you can see exactly what projects the Flood Control District has going on in your watershed. So I encourage a lot of people to, if you're interested in drainage, if you're interested in how the Flood Control District's trying to reduce your risk of flooding, please view our website. We put everything that we do, every project, every report, every video, every community engagement meeting, everything that we do, we place on our website so that people can learn about what the Harris County Flood Control District is doing in their area and how we're helping to make the next flood, because it's not an if, it's a when. We will have another flood event in Harris County. No one knows when that's going to happen, but we will have one. But the Flood Control District has hundreds of projects going on as we speak to help people reduce the risk of flooding for the next flood event.
And that website again is?
It's www.hcfcd.org.
Very nice. And simply in a few bullet points, many people think from Hurricane Harvey, that was a massive amount of rain, an anomaly, if you will. Yes, we know it rains a lot in Houston, but that was incredible. But many people want to know from then till now, in just a few bullet points, how have we improved our drainage here, and what else has been done to make it not as bad next time around?
So one program that we completed last month was almost a $90 million repair program where we completed $90 million worth of repairs to our drainage infrastructure from damage from Hurricane Harvey. So we've basically either restored or improved a vast amount of our drainage infrastructure since Hurricane Harvey. So that's one item that we're really proud of. That it seems like a lot of people say, well, it took you 3 years, but I tell people in government time that's pretty darn good. And so right. we're really happy that program is basically 99% complete. And in addition, we have on our website, we have an active construction page where we finish, I don't know the exact number, but we finished dozens of new capital improvement construction projects all around the county. We finished new stormwater detention basins on White Oak Bayou and in Halls Bayou. We've rebuilt several bridges along Brays Bayou and completed channel improvements along Brays Bayou to help reduce some flooding risks in the Brays Bayou watershed. So we have lots of projects that all around the county that are either in construction now or will be in construction soon that will lower the risk of flooding. We've on the west side of town in the Addicks, upstream of Addicks Reservoir, we've completed I don't know how many miles, but I mean it's close to 20 or 30 miles of channel restoration projects where we've removed decades of accumulated silt and sediment and opened up some of those channels back over double their size they were before Hurricane Harvey, just because we haven't had the funding in the past to maintain those channels as like we want to. So there's a lot of that work that's going on all around the county.
I think it was interesting, too, that you said the amount of money that's spent just on mowing the grounds in these open areas of drainage, how important that is. The other thing I was thinking about when you started out is, as you're talking about the miles, the voluminous miles, and as you mentioned, of the open drainage and things, what about the drainage that's on our streets? Is that part of your role or your organization, or that's different?
That's a great question. In to the general public, most people don't think about who's responsible for different parts of our drainage system. They just want it to work, and I totally understand that. But the flood control district is not responsible for the drainage in the streets or the storm sewers or the roadside ditches. That typically is the responsibility of whatever city or municipality that you live in. So, for example, if you live inside the city of Houston, then the streets and the storm sewers are the responsibility of the City of Houston Public Works Department. Or if you live in the city of Pasadena, it would be the responsibility of the City of Pasadena. Or if you live in a municipal utility district, it's sometimes the responsibility of that municipal utility district, or it could be the responsibility of the precinct that you live in, depending on if those streets and storm sewers have been dedicated to the precinct. So everybody has to first of all, know where they live. That's very important. And then if they don't know who their responsibility, they can ask if they live in a city, they can ask their council member, or they can, if they live in a municipal utility district, they can ask their operator. That's the person they pay their water bills to, who's responsible for the drainage in their area.
Certainly it all works hand in hand indeed. We're talking with Matt Zeve, Deputy Executive Director of the Harris County Flood Control District. As we look ahead, Matt, you must have I don't know how you stay organized. People are pulling you which way, asking you questions about water because it's top of mind. As we look ahead to 2021, what are some of the initiatives and things that are in progress and some of the things that you guys are doing?
One of the biggest initiatives that's going on that is going to really hit the public this summer in 2021 is called MAP Next, and that is our countywide floodplain remapping effort that we started in 2019 with FEMA. And the Flood Control District is well into that process, and we are remapping all of the floodplains in all of Harris County, and we are actually remapping the floodplains in a totally different way than how floodplains have been mapped in the past. And FEMA is working with the Harris County Flood Control District on this effort because what we do is going to set the stage for what the rest of the country may do as they update flood insurance rate maps in other parts of the country. And we're very excited about showing the public what we've done and what we're doing to help them understand the true flooding risks of where they live. And with this latest and greatest updated data, it can really help people make good decisions as they consider buying properties in Harris County.
Indeed, that is so important. In fact, I'm on the website right now. It is hcfcd.org. A ton of information out there. And Matt, what are some of the other things before we close things out here? What have we missed here? I know we want to have you back again, but what else on this segment that you want to tell people about?
Well, a couple of things is if drainage is forefront on your mind, which I think it should, because that's our natural disaster in Harris County. We don't worry about earthquakes or mudslides or anything like that. We worry about flooding. I really encourage people just to take a little bit of time each week, watch one of our videos on one of our introductory videos on our YouTube channel and learn some of the basics about drainage in Harris County and get involved. We have virtual community engagement meetings very frequently about all of our projects and keep an eye on a project that's near you and participate in one of our virtual community engagement meetings. and when we can start meeting in person, we'll start having meetings in person again. And finally, I can't stress enough that the Harris County Flood Control District recommends that every single person in Harris County buy flood insurance.
Absolutely. There's no question. We recommend that on this show as well. The other thing I'm thinking about, living here in Houston these many decades, I just am astounded at the volumes of water just on a regular rainstorm. But what other areas, if you know, around the country get this much rain? Is there anywhere else that gets the massive amounts of rain that we do? Maybe Louisiana somewhere, but where else?
On average, the area between Mobile, Alabama, and New Orleans, on average, gets more rain than the Houston-Harris County area.
Wow.
But on the mainland United States, that's about it. It's kind of high rainfall rates on an average annual basis are dominated by the Gulf Coast.
There you go. Well, it keeps our skin moist, too, so we're not drying out. We all look younger here. There's definitely some benefits. Before we close things out, Matt, what else would you like people to know?
If people have questions or are curious, please reach out to the Flood Control District. We're easy to get a hold of, and we try to respond very quickly when people have questions. And we encourage the public to ask questions and learn more, because drainage does affect every single person in the county, and it's very important, and we take our jobs very seriously, and we like to tell people about what we're doing and where their taxpayer dollars are going.
Indeed. Keep up the great work. He is Matt Zeve, Deputy Executive Director of the Harris County Flood Control District. Thank you, Matt, for being on the show, and I encourage people, once again, go to hcfcd.org. There's a ton of information there. Thank you, Matt, for being on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.